All right, it's time for round two of my prediction shows. So, for this episode, I'll be talking about the New Hampshire primary, which is going to happen tomorrow. Now, the New Hampshire primary is pretty important because it is a big signifier for a primary vote who will gain momentum going into the rest of this nominating process. And right now, it looks like there's a lot of momentum going on both sides. So let's get to it. On the Democratic side of the race, I think in first place will be Bernie Sanders by at least 10 points. He's going to win pretty big. Hillary Clinton, I believe, will get second place. She's definitely put a good showing in New Hampshire, and she's got a really good ground operation. I think she'll do well. Martin O'Malley, I think, will place third despite having dropped out. He's still on the ballot. He's still got name recognition. He's still participated in a lot of the debates. So I think in terms of where the rankings will be on the Democratic side, that's the main three candidates. Bernie Sanders first, Hillary Clinton second, O'Malley third. Then going into the candidates who haven't shown up in any of the major debates, I think Rocky De La Fuente will be fourth. Then I think it will be John Wolfe will be fifth. I think that Vermin Supreme will be sixth. Sam Sloan seventh. Keith Russell Judd eighth. All right. Now moving on to the Republican side of the field. The Republicans have been seeing a lot of movement. There's a whole bunch of people who dropped out of the race. Both Mike Huckabee and Rick Santorum suspended their campaigns, so they're not going to be participating in the primary and nomination process anymore, as far as I know. That could change. You know, people who have suspended campaigns in the past have famously started them back up again. But right now, it looks like the candidates are limited to a bunch of the major candidates, and there's a lot of them, and then a bunch of lesser-known candidates. So in terms of the major candidates, who I think will win tomorrow in New Hampshire's primary for the Republican side, in first place will be Donald Trump. I think Donald Trump, definitely after Iowa and after seeing what happened with the Cruz campaign, has been pushing really hard in the media and social media and various channels and trying to get support for Cruz to diminish. So I think Trump is definitely in a decisive lead right now. He will place first in the New Hampshire primary is my prediction. I think coming up second will be Marco Rubio. Marco Rubio is this charismatic guy, even though he made a bunch of mistakes in the debate by repeating himself again and again and again with the same lines and got called out by Chris Christie. I still think that he's marshaled enough support to leverage second place. In terms of third place, I think it will be Ted Cruz. Ted Cruz did win Iowa. I think Ted Cruz still has a lot of support. He's got a good ground game. I think he's got a lot going for him in terms of where he's at in the Republican side of the field. And I think he'll get third. I think that John Kasich will get fourth place. Kasich's been in New Hampshire, for a long time during this campaign season. He's done a lot of events. He's got a lot of name recognition. He's been running a lot of ads. I think he'll get fourth. I think he'll do pretty well. Fifth place, I think, will be Jeb Bush. I think Jeb Bush has certainly spent some time in New Hampshire, and he's working hard on getting his name out there. He's definitely spent a lot of money as a campaign. And I think that Jeb Bush will be fifth place. Sixth place, I think, will be Chris Christie. Chris Christie's done a whole lot of events in New Hampshire. He's also the governor of New Jersey, which is pretty nearby to New Hampshire, so it's given him the opportunity to travel to New Hampshire quite a lot. And so I think he'll do pretty well, given the size of the field. He'll do sixth. Then I think it'll be Ben Carson at seventh. Ben Carson, he's had a pretty low-key campaign. He had that time where he was in the lead for a little while, and he had the momentum, but that momentum sort of simmered down. And so right now, I think he's just he's in the campaign for as long as he wants to be, and for as long as he wants to be. Right now, I just don't think he's got the ground operation or the name recognition still in the polls to outcompete the other guys. So especially in terms of advertisements. So I think that Ben Carson will be 7th. For 8th place, I think it'll be Carly Fiorina. Carly Fiorina, she got on the debate stage, she got off the debate stage, she got back on the debate stage, and then in the last debate, she was not on the debate stage. So in terms of her support, it's definitely gone back and forth, but right now her momentum isn't there, and so she may still stay in the race for a while yet, but I don't think she's going to place very highly. So she is who I think will be in 8th. Then I think that Jim Gilmore will place 9th. Of the major candidates on the ballot, Jim Gilmore hasn't made the debate stage for any of the debates. He hasn't really registered much in the polls. And overall, I just don't think Jim Gilmore has raised a lot of money. I don't think he's been able to run a lot of advertisements. I don't think he's got a big ground operation. So I think he'll rank on the ballot, but I don't think he'll rank high. So I think he'll get 9th. And so for all the other candidates, I honestly don't know where they'll rank because they withdrew from the race after certain points during the selection process. But if I had to guess between the candidates who are remaining 10th place, who suspended their campaign, I think 10th place would be Rand Paul, 11th place would be Mike Huckabee, 12th place would be Lindsey Graham, 13th place would be Rick Santorum, 14th place would be George Pataki, 15th place would be Bobby Jindal. I just don't think they're going to register pretty high in the polls, given that they've suspended their campaign. It might happen that they register higher, but I just don't think it's going to happen. I think that the candidates who are still in the running, who have stated that they have not suspended their campaigns, who are running advertisements, doing a lot of different events, talking to people in New Hampshire, I think those are the ones that will rank higher. So those are my predictions, and we'll find out whether I'm right. In terms of the Iowa caucuses, I was close. I thought Bernie Sanders would win, but he lost by less than a percentage point. So, it was very close, but I think he will have a decisive victory in New Hampshire this time around. It will be a good show. I think tomorrow will be a really exciting day, and I look forward to seeing what happens if my predictions come true. All right.